Welcome, my Zentangle friends. My name is Emmy, and you're on the Zen with Emmy channel. I am a CZT, which means I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. I'm really pleased that you're here. I'm pleased to be here with you today. We are actually on day 18 of Inktober, and what a wonderful challenge this has been. So, Middleton is the most fun grid pattern. I love grids, it turns out. Although I really have a hard time because I really like the more wavy ones too. And anyway, I could go on and on with you. But Middleton will be fun to work on together. Let's get started. But before I do, I want to show you something that I did with Middleton that's a little bit different. And this is more of a different kind of thing. I think I'd make that even a little wider next time because I love these little idea of an orb in here. And I just think that these horns or whatever they are just kind of pop off the page. And I know I got a use for these in a future day. So you might see them coming again. Okay, let's get started. Got all my supplies ready, and one thing that I forgot to mention to you is you might want a 05 today. I could see how a bigger pen might be a good idea. So just get that and have it on hand. Put me on pause while you grab it. So we're just going to start by making the one segment, and then when we get to our compilation, then we'll go ahead and do a foursome. But to begin with, let's just create, using my 01, meant to go that route. I'm going to make a rectangle. Your call if you feel you need to turn your work. I'm going to close these two corners here. Just ended up to be a little longer than I planned. Okay, so the way this goes is, to start with, is that I am going to make a box in the corner. It's not a quarter. I don't know if you've ever done cubine, but in the box with cubine, it's a whole quarter of the rectangle. And this is not designed in that way. So just a smallish box, and then you're going to put a box in the box. Take your time. Half the fun of Zentangle is the process. Now I am going to take a quarter of this box out and make so that it amounts to a square. Now this is where your 05 might come in handy because it's a lot of pen strokes. So just enjoy the darkening process. This is fun. And the next thing I want to do is I'm going to go from this corner where my darkened box is, and I'm going to connect out here. So I'm going to just do a single line like that. I have a little more that I want to do inside this box. I'm going to go back to my 01 pen, and I'm going to come along here and I'm going to make a series of small sticks. Very small. So now I'm going to turn my work and I'm going to go the other direction and make a series of small sticks. Lightly, but it really darkens this area, and that's what I'm looking for here. Okay, so what I want to do next is I want to put a line from here and connect to this corner. I'm going to now go ahead and work with me on this. Put a line all the way to that corner. And the next thing I'm going to do with this sweet pattern is I'm going to put a line down here. And don't touch the bottom because I'm going to turn my paper and we're going to make the line go into this corner. In this way, I kind of made a box in a box, right? Since I've got my paper turned this way, I'm going to start right here. And I'm going to make a line that goes to there. You know me and dots. I love to connect the dots. And again, turn your work. And let's make this dot go down and connect to here. Make the line connect. Here's the fun part ahead. So turn your work like this so that it's right in front of you. And what I'm going to do is make a line from this corner tight into here. So it's going to be wide and come down tight. So when you're ready, let's go ahead and do that much. Wide and tight. Let's go the other direction too. I'm going to do this one wide where it is and tight down here at the bottom. Voila, as my granddaughter would say. So one of the fun things that this pattern asks for is for us to do a series of lines from that kind of a triangle shape to the bottom. Take a breath, relax. Isn't this pretty? So now you see I'm turning my work this direction, and now I'm gonna come from here and do the same thing and close this all in. Breathe in and out. Have your feet flat on the floor. Enjoy the process. It's all about the journey with Zentangle. It is not about the destination, although that's fun too. How fun is this? So I've got a couple of things I want to do here. I have a lot of room in here, but I want to make this horn or shape pop off the page. To do that, in my best way, is to get some shading right up tight here. I'm going to put a fairly thick line. I hope you can tell that I'm doing a very thick line of shade. I don't have any white showing up here. And then I'm going to come along the other side, so don't forget, and do the same thing. And if I'm pushing in to that line, then it tends to be a bit darker, and that's what I want. So I also want to do a line of shading here. And make it dark as you want too. And don't be afraid to go over this a second time if you didn't think it got close enough there. Sometimes it just helps to work in a circular motion, and sometimes it helps to be pushing your pencil into the line. You can already see what a difference it's making. Let's do this here too. There's a couple more things I want to shade on here. One is right here along the inside lines. And I'll be doing some smudging with that. So right here and here. And while I'm in this box, I'm also going to do a little smudging here. And this is so close, I feel like I can just do both sides. So I'd like to have this look lifted up, like a triangle is lifted up. And to do that, I'm going to do one side of this shape. And I'm going to do the box. And you see I'm doing the other side of the box too. Whenever you're ready, grab your blender stump. And let's get to work. So I want this to, I'm definitely using a circular motion. And I am going to make sure that my shade goes all the way in here. But you see I've left a little sliver of light there. That's kind of important too. That's going to help this look raised up. This side is just going to make that box look lifted up. Not so much this side, just the box. The next thing I want to do is come along the side and push, if I get it so that you can see it better. See what I'm doing? I'm pushing and rotating, kind of curve motion, so that I can get a lot of shade way out into this region here, although I do want that to stay white. Let's do this side too. Isn't that pretty? I think it's so pretty. This is kind of strange here. I want this to diffuse, so I'm gonna come back here. Do you see I'm working real light with my blender? Just push it out into there a little bit better. All right, now I'm working on this side. All I'm gonna do is repeat what I did here. Circular motion, pulling that graphite out into the white until it disappears. So you're going from very dark to light gray and back to paper color, whatever paper you're using. And we're going to do the same thing with the other side. Circular motion. If you feel you need to, you could go over this as many times as you wanted. But I like the way that looks. Okay, I don't want to do too much here. I want to let that shine and be dark in these corners. So that is the pattern Middleton. So let's look at our compilation. First thing I want to show you is where I put mine on the one without words, way down here. So let me see. There, now you can see kind of, it's still hard to see the whole thing. There. So that's the whole thing so far without words. And I think that that looks really cool down there, so I'm going to leave it go. Each one of these patterns are such standalone patterns. It's really, really hard to decide where I want to put things, but I have good ideas ahead for us. Now here's my compilation that I'm going to work on today with my words on it. And I think I like this corner, so I'm going to do that again. I'm going to put this back out so that I can focus right here with you. And I have room to do all four, to do 4 sides and make a nice size rectangle. So I'm back to my 01 pen. And I'm going to make a box. Now this time I'm going to do all 4 instead of just 1. How's it going so far? I hope you're with me. Now, I'm going to divide my box into 4 slices or 4 parts. So I'm going to just draw a line down. And I'm going to turn my work and come back the other direction. Very, very cool. I love it. I hope you do too. Okay, so remember our boxes are going to go on the outside. The first box is going to go on the outside. And let's just put those 4 boxes in place right now. All 4. The next thing I want to do is have a box in the box. So let's do that 4 times. Now there's some parts of this that are so small that I don't feel I need to turn my work. That said, anytime you feel your hand might be cramping or getting itself turned oddly, it's easy to do. Go ahead and turn your work so that you don't have that terrible feeling, because it doesn't make any sense at all, does it, to do that? Okay, the next thing I want to do is take a corner out of each of these boxes, like that. So this is the interior wall that I'm taking a corner out of. I'm going to take a minute and switch pens to my 05, which is thick. Do it again. Corner to point. Again. You really have to do these by themselves because they get themselves wonky shaped. Okay, I am switching back to my 01 because this is going to be the 05 is too big for those tiny little strokes that I'd like to do in here. So I think you know where we're going, so go ahead and put me on pause and I will meet you in just a minute. The next thing I want to do, now that I've done this, is make a line that connects this, connects this dot or this point to this point. Connect. Do it again. Connect that point. Do this again. Connect the point. And this one is really wonky, but that'll look really cool, I think. Now, if you want to, this is where you could make a line out and divide each of these sections a little bit more, like this. It is a really cool thing. I'm not sure if you want to. You certainly don't have to. But a little bit of separation isn't a bad thing either. Makes it look so interesting, I think. Okay. Hope you're with me. The next thing I'm going to do, there are so many steps in this pattern, but it still is a worthy pattern, I think. I'm going to complete my box from here to here, and from here to here. And I'm going to do that all the way around. I'm going to complete the box there. Okay, now that we've done this, we're going to connect with from this point to this point and to this point. So I'm going to draw a line and complete point here. Come again to here. Now that one really got itself wonky, but I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. This one from here at the middle to there. From the middle to the other side. Turn. From here to that spot. From the middle to there. And the same thing here, from the middle to here. And from the middle to here. This is cool. I hope you like it. When we put those stripes in, it's going to look so neat. So let's do that. Start anywhere. So I'm just going to start here. There. Isn't it cool? So time to grab our pencil, our graphite in this case, because we want to have these things blend in. I hope that your pencil is nice and sharp. I'm pushing my graphite into there. And even when I add it, you can see that I'm kind of pulling as I work. To get my blender stump and start pushing that graphite around. So let's just take a minute and do this, and I will meet up with you in a minute. There we are. Take a minute and look at your work. See if there's any other little things you want to add or do. I am going to use this, my Mono Zero that I've talked to you about before, because I want to brighten this up in here. I like the way it goes into each other, but I also want that middle to be just back to the white. And to do that, I want to get a little tiny bit of erasing going on in here. There we go. Also want to get a little of that off. Just lighten it up. A little too much graphite. And then that's why I had the paintbrush at the start, because I want to get the divots off of there. And I've got I absolutely enjoy what I've got going on here. So I don't want to smudge it. We have worked very hard on this piece. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you soon for day 19. And thank you again, and I will see you soon. Bye.